Hey guys, what is up, and I welcome you to a new episode of the Did You Know series. This episode will be featuring Varus. Please don't forget to throw in a like if you do end up enjoying this episode. But without further ado, let us go into his abilities. Varus' passive does not stack with minion and champion kills. The champion kill attack speed buff from the passive will always have priority. However, killing a minion during the 6-second buff from killing a champion will apply a diminished effect version of the minion kill passive after the champion one is finished. On that note, his bow does glow red whenever it is the minion attack speed passive activated, and if the bow is glowing a purple or bluish color, that means the champion kill passive is activated. Even though Varus' Q does deal physical damage, it does not work with lifesteal as it is still considered a spell. Varus' Q can be charged for just a split second to quickly fire it off to proc the W passive ASAP without giving your opponent a chance to dodge it. Varus is able to flash while charging his Q, and it will not cancel the spell and can still be channeled or fired. Varus is one of the few champions that can fire his skill shot, in this case his Q, the opposite way of which he is facing to trick your opponents. As a trick to cancel the channeling part of Q prematurely, you may press the recall button, but it will not refund the mana. Varus' Q ability, his E, and his ultimate can all be blocked by spell shield. However, his W, which is a passive, will not be prevented by the spell shield in order to apply the stacks. Varus' E slows the champions within the AoE of the ability, but the slow will persist on the target for about a quarter of a second after they leave the area. The missile speed of Varus' Q is 1900 and his ultimate 2000, while something like Morgana Q is only 1200. If the initial target of Varus' ultimate dies or gets free of the snare, for example using Quicksilver Sash, the ultimate will still try to spread to nearby targets even if the original one again is dead or cleanse the ultimate. Alright guys, let us go into some cool facts and lore about Varus. Varus was designed by somebody named Meddler, who also made Syndra, Lysandra, Ziggs, and helped with Elise and Volibear. His voice-over artist is named Gavin Hammond, who also voiced over Pantheon and the legendary skin Bloodlord Vladimir. Varus' name may have an interesting origin, as the word Varus is a medical term for inward joint deformity, which relates to Varus' broken state. From that, let's go into his lore to learn more of his broken mentality. Varus was a very honorable warrior of Ionia, and was a warden of the sacred Ionian temple. This temple, which only the best Ionian warriors are selected to protect it, contained an ancient pit of corruption. One day, the forces of Noxus invaded Ionia, including Varus' village. However, Varus chose to stay and protect the temple as his duty, rather than to help the village fend off the forces. Killing those who tried to invade the temple, Varus then returned to his village, which became a graveyard. He began feeling regret and hatred, and chose to give in to the pit he protected in order to get more power with only one goal in mind: kill every Noxus soldier that was part of the invasion. And from this, the darkness of the pit slowly corrupted him. Apparently, Varus' piercing arrow is a rework of Tristana's old version of Draw a Bead, which would reduce her movement speed in order to increase her range. Penny Arcade worked with the League art team to make a special edition Champion Sneak Peek for Varus. In Season 2, champions began being released with only one alternate skin, and Varus was the first to have this done. The Pit of Pallas in Varus' lore refers to Pallas from Greek mythology, who was a giant that was eventually killed by Athena. Archers tend to wield their bows on whatever side they're more eye dominant rather than hand dominant, and from this we can guess that Varus is right eye dominant. League judgments done to champions as they join the league to learn more about their past has been done to Varus, the only champion to have it done since Graves. Varus isn't the only Ionian champion to turn to the dark side. The other two are Syndra and Zed. Varus shares a similar quote to Lee Sin.
I do what I must.
We do what we must.
His other quote,
Beware a man with nothing to lose,
is based on an Italian proverb, beware of one who has nothing to lose. Varus's other quote,
"No turning back,"
is similar to Ezreal's and Aurelia's.
No turning back now.
There's no turning back.
Blight Crystal Varus may reference World of Warcraft, where the undead race used blight crystals, like the ones in the artwork, to corrupt creatures. On top of this, he also has a quote that is spoken by some of the undead from World of Warcraft.
"I am forsaken."
Arclight Varus shows how he was just after giving into the corruption, yet before it fully consumed him. He shares this theme with Syndra specific to Ionia, but on top of this with Aatrox as well. The bow from the skin seems very similar to the Bow of Light from the Legend of Zelda series. Arctic Ops Varus shares this theme with Arctic Ops Kennen. Riven is also listed as a rival to Varus, which may suggest she was part of the Noxus invasion. Alright guys, that unfortunately does mark the end of this episode of Did You Know featuring Varus. If you did enjoy this episode, don't forget to throw in a like and share it with your friends. You can also write down below who you would like to see in the next episode, or if you have any cool theory ideas that you think I should go over. I'd also appreciate it if you guys can follow me on my Facebook and my Twitter, both Redmercy LOL. But with all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I hope to see you next time. Peace!